Your side to Belfast.
So here comes Bill Hoffman. And Bill, if you've not seen him bowl before, believe me, he doesn't do it the way the textbook tells you to do it. There's nothing smooth and rhythmic about Bill. He's all twisted and corkscrewed up and bent over, but the net result is still pretty good. I mean, just look at that position to start off with.
Yeah, he's. I'm sure he'll need a good chiropractor when he's a bit older.
I think so. But if it works, it works. Not that that was the most convincing strike that Bill's ever delivered.
It's going to put him in a good mood. He'll now start playing to the crowd a little bit because he was a bit lucky there, and he knows it. He'll take the maximum score. It's a strike. Hit him thin and yeah, made him spin.
So here's Gery. There he is, smirking away in the background. Hoffman always got a smile on his face, whatever's going on. Although I seem to recall an open frame against Verbrugen in the last match that did wipe the smile off his face. It doesn't happen too often. Now, what can this ever consistent Belgian come up with here? The left-hander. And he starts off with a strike.
Yeah, that was a good shot. That was how a strike should be rolled on the left-hander. Nice and wide.
Tim Mack and Tony Manor are watching. They're sat in the stands watching Bill Hoffman at work, offering him a bit of support. It's interesting, the Americans are one side, the Europeans are the other. It's almost like they decided that themselves. They're not going to hang out together. That was a much better strike from Hoffman.
Yeah, better line, better follow through, and better rotation on the ball.
Hey, look, that's Wayne Greenall there next to Tim Mack, who's as English as they come. He's actually a Sheffield man, just bowled in the World Cup. What's he doing sitting with the Americans? Somebody needs to tell him to get his geography right.
Yeah, that's right. He's on the wrong side of the arena.
Wayne's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. He doesn't know what he's, you know, we've got to let him off.
I think he's just explaining the offside rule there to Tim Mack.
Two strikes for Hoffman, one for Verbrugen. This to keep pace. No. Flush on the head pin.
Yeah, much too high. That's not a good shot at all. He lofted it out onto the lane, and as soon as it touched the lane, it started to hook. And it's rode right up onto the head pin. And that's not an easy spare because we've got that 2 and 8 pin sleeper in there as well.
It's unusual to see Gery bowl a ball like that. He's always there or thereabouts in the pocket. Really a poor ball by his standards.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit low on speed. I mean, that's an exceptionally good spare. Well bowled, Gery.
Made that look very easy, didn't he?
They say that left-handers do make it look easy, but believe me, it's not.
Listen, I'm a left-hander and I never make it look easy. I make it look funny.
No, well, perhaps we'll get you down there for a game one day, Nick.
Not when there's television cameras rolling, you won't. Here's a man who does know how to bowl. Bill Hoffman. Got a double. If he gets 3, it's a turkey, as it's known in the business. And there it is, and Bill Hoffman, whatever problems he's had with the Weber Cup in the past, he's having no problems here.
Oh, strutting around the approach. Look at me. Mind you, we can afford to smile. 3 strikes in a row. An early lead for him. This is a beautiful shot. The rotation on that ball as it just drives through those pins. And the body language says it all.
Actually, just to finish off about Wayne Greenall, who sat with Tim Mack. I mean, I know Wayne's not playing in this Weber Cup, but they all are just good mates, aren't they? They love just hanging out together. They are competitive, they want to win, but when they're not bowling, you'll see them chit-chatting together and just enjoying each other's company. Now Verbrugen looking to get back in the zone. No, he's left one standing. And this pace that Hoffman is setting is causing Verbrugen 1 or 2 problems. Yeah,
well, Gery sort of fell off that shot there. He lost his footing right at the last minute and fell off to the left-hand side. So the ball actually went a bit longer than it should have done. He didn't get the follow-through and the lift. He's left himself a single-pin spare, which shouldn't really be a problem to him. And there it was.
Safely done, but another spare ball from Verbrugen. Hoffman is perfect so far, but it's very early days.
Well,
He's looking more relaxed. Sorry, Cass. He's looking more relaxed than I've seen him in previous matches.
well, he started with 3 strikes in a row, and that's going to settle you down. He's quite confident.
Well, can he keep this streak alive here? A distinctive corkscrewing up of the body and twisting and bending and turning, and then the delivery is spot on. He's in there like swimwear.
Excellent shot. Right in the 1-3 pocket. He's covering a lot of the lane. It's he's starting left and throwing it right, and the rotation on the ball is bringing it back. And of course, it's the rotation going into the pins that causes them to fly around. Perfect through 4.
Well, I guess what Gery needs to do at this moment is just concentrate on his game. Forget all about what Hoffman's doing. Just try and stick around and hang in there as much as you can and hope that Hoffman lets you in.
Well, that's right, yes, you're quite right there, Nick. He needs to just consolidate his game, stay clean, don't do things silly.
Like that.
And hit a few of those, and he'll be back.
Question we've got about Bill Hoffman is, can he maintain his concentration after that blistering start? He hasn't seen Verbrugen off, so he needs to stay with it. And he didn't get much of a break there.
No, slightly high on the head pin in the pocket, but I mean, it was a nice shot, but the 4-pin stood there a little bit defiantly. He knows it wasn't perfect, and we'll be happy with the result because it's a very spareable pin.
Yep, safely done, but another spare. And if Verbrugen can get another strike, that deficit will get chipped away a little further.
That's right, yeah, it'll be down to about 10 pins if Verbrugen can strike here for Team Europe. It's quite an important shot. Frame 6. He's struck 3 times already. And this could be one of those turning points in the match. Only 10 frames.
Real big ball this for the left-hander. Oh, he's got it. And this is typical Gery Verbrugen. There's no high fives, no joking with the crowd, no backflips, no punching the air, just quietly getting the job done.
Serious business. It's 3 strikes in a row for the Belgian. Yeah, he's looking for it. There it is.
And safe to say, I think, that this has become a real pressure ball for Bill Hoffman.
Oh, Gery's on his way back. Yes, Bill does need to get 10 here. He's gone long.
He's left himself the sleeper, one pin hidden behind the other.
Yeah, it's that infamous 2-8 again. It's the right-hander shot. The ball goes just a little bit too long.
And he's lost his line cast, and I wonder how much of that is because the oil that covers the first 40 feet of this 60-foot lane is starting to dry out under these lights, and therefore the ball is rolling through it, or gliding through it, should I say, slightly differently, and he's not made the adjustment for it.
That's, yeah, very professionally well put, Nick. You're probably exactly right there. That's a very good spare. Again, it could have been the pressure that Gery's putting on him. Gery's on his way back, and...
yeah, the big difference, 3 strikes for the Belgians, 3 spares for Hoffman.
That's right, yes, and he realises that he hasn't struck for 3 frames, but that is a good spare at an important time in the game.
Isn't it funny? It's really Hoffman's turn now just to kind of hang around and hope that Verbrugen makes the mistake. Gery did it absolutely right when Hoffman was setting off with those 4 strikes. He didn't panic, just concentrated on his business, and he's got his nose in front. Can he keep it there? Verbrugen looking for a 4-bagger.
Concentration on his face.
Got it.
What a great shot. Absolutely marvellous. And Gery's taken the lead now. That's 4 strikes in a row and puts more pressure back on Bill.
Well, there's the difference. Once again, Hoffman finds himself facing a real pressure ball.
Yeah, he's 13 pins adrift. Needs to get something going here.
And does.
Yeah, nice shot. Well done. First strike in 4 frames.
This has turned into a real absorbing match, and you'll notice that Hoffman's not joking and laughing around at the moment. This is too serious for that.
That's right, yeah. It's coming to the closing frames in the game, and it's very, very close. Happy to sit down with a strike in the bank. Gery, of course, working on 4 in a row. Getting really locked into his strike shot. In the comfort zone, as we say. Let's hope he can stay there. Taking his time and getting locked in mentally.
Now, can Gery keep this streak going? No.
Ooh.
7.
Yeah, the elusive 7-pin in the corner. A little bit unfortunate. The ball was very wide and broke back late. And gave an acute angle going into the pocket, and that's why that 7-pin has stood up.
And the left-handers don't like that 7-pin hanging around. And I believe in an earlier match, Gery actually missed this one. Cannot afford another miss here. No mistake whatsoever, but a spare means that if Hoffman can get a strike, this one gets really close.
Yeah, we're looking at the 2-pin takedown just at the moment. 9 pins if they go off the sheet together. Now we're in frame 9, so 2 frames to go, and that's it.
Yeah, pick a winner in this one, Cass.
Well, a double here by Bill will definitely be the advantage. Gery will be working on a spare, and he knows it.
Oh yes, look at those pins bouncing around. He's got his nose back in front.
Yeah, pretty professional stuff. He did know it. He knew what he wanted, and very pleased with the result. Double at a really important time of the match.
What an absorbing contest this is. That was a textbook strike from Bill Hoffman, and now it is Gery Verbrugen who has to have a strike.
Yeah, we're getting to the end of the game, and it's a tough get going.
The Belgian needs this. Oh, but he doesn't get it.
Oh dear, that's so unfortunate. It was a nice pocket hit, 10-pin left, which is unusual for the left-handers. And unfortunately, it's not a strike, so things go from bad to worse.
Just didn't get the break, did he?
No,
There were a couple of pins there, could have taken it, and they both went either side.
The pin action didn't work out for him, and let's hope he can make this spare.
And he does. So that means Hoffman's still got to do a bit of work.
Yeah, he's certainly got to stay clean, and well, the way he is, there's no reason why he can't strike again. 19-pin lead.
If he does hang on for the win here, this has been a real good examination of his character, hasn't he? Because Gery really put him under the cosh after that fast start, but he didn't fold.
This has actually been a very good game of 10-pin bowling. There's been no open frames so far, and they both blasted the pocket from either side.
A strike here should see him home.
Big hook.
And there it is.
Did you hear him? Big hook is what he shouted. He knew it was good, he knew it had to come back.
And now he's back to laughing and joking again because the pressure's off.
This is called coast-to-coast bowling. One lane, side of the lane to the other, and back again. Yeah, and the body language tells it all. That's the Joker. Earns himself 2 bonus balls in frame 10.
Yeah, finishing in some style here. Getting a congratulatory handshake from Tim Mack, his skipper, who now goes off, I think, to prepare for his match.
8 strikes for Bill Hoffman. He's going to be in the 250s, which is a pretty high game.
And he's finally got rid of the jinx of Gery Verbrugen at the 3rd time of asking.
Yeah, he's done it in some sort of style as well. This is really good bowling. Can't do better than that. 256. That's 1 game and a half. Great bowling.
Yeah. And a little wobble with those 3 spares in the middle, and that's when Gery was striking. But Gery could not maintain the strike rate. Hoffman is...
Does he know he's on camera?
Yeah, well, he's like that well, if there's no cameras around.
Yeah, having a great time. No consolation for Gery, though. That's the game all wrapped up, I'm afraid. Mind you, it's no mean game that Gery's bowled.
I was going to say, this has not been a shabby game at all.
No, a spare here and he'll be in the 220s. He said no open frames. He's shown what he's worth.
Yeah, no open frames in this match. The kind of quality we've been looking for, and we've talked so much about some of the struggles some of these other players have had on this lane. It is a testing lane, but these two have just really shown their quality.
Yeah, good demonstration of 10-pin bowling, these two, and strike here for Gery will be 225. Bill doesn't care though, because he's got 250 in the bag.
And Gery signs off as well with a loss, but not a bad score either, 224. But today that is not good enough to beat Bill Hoffman, who finally buries that jinx at the third time of asking. It's Hoffman who wins by 32 pins, and it all means that Team USA is now in front in this race to 18 by 6 points to 4.